Hi guys, this is Allison from Youth Alive. Welcome. I'm talking today about the cost of discipleship, and this is part 5. A disciple is a student, a follower, a learner, someone who wants to think, speak, and act like Jesus, and model their life after Jesus. Many crowds were following Jesus, and he turned to those large crowds and he challenged them. He said, I want you guys to be disciples, and a disciple will love me more than your family, more than your dearest friends. I want you to count the cost. The last thing he said when he was talking to these crowds was, none of you can be my disciple unless you give up everything you have. What? That's right. He said, we can't just add Jesus to a materialistic lifestyle. It doesn't work. If you've said yes to Jesus, he becomes the boss. He owns everything, and we become managers for him. So if I own a house, we could say it's my house, but it's really his house. And if he tells me to sell it, I do it if I'm a disciple. If he wants me to use it for hospitality, invite people over and help people, I do that. I hold all of my possessions very loosely, knowing that they could be very temporary. If asked, I would give them all up. Jesus said, don't store up treasures on earth. Look at this nice sweater. I don't know if you can see, but it has moth holes in it. The nicest clothes you have will get moths. The nicest car you have will eventually get rust and be destroyed. And thieves, if you have a lot of riches, thieves could break in and steal. So that's why treasures on earth are not reliable. Jesus said we need to store up our treasures in heaven. And Jesus said your heart will always be where your treasure is. God doesn't want our hearts consumed and just thinking all the time about things and pulled away from him. Jesus said, you can't worship two gods at the same time. You can't worship the true God and you still be a slave to the God of money. You'll either love one or the other, but you can't love both. Jesus also said, if you put God first, and if you put his kingdom first, ahead of things, then he promises to meet every need you have. He'll give you all the food you need, all the clothing you need, and all the things you need. Being a disciple of Jesus is an adventure. And as we hold things very loosely, as we hold our money very loosely, he will provide for us in supernatural ways. And it will be very exciting to see how God does things for you. There is a cost to becoming a disciple. Everything you own is his. But the cost of not being a disciple is even greater. Think about it and make a decision to follow and become a disciple of Jesus today. Amen.